Welcome everyone to another edition of Airy Sky Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Airy Sky. This is a short video. For anyone out there, first of all, my disclaimer is, uploading, downloading, distributing, selling, copying, etc. This video is copyrighted to me. It's all rights reserved, not even for court appearances or uses. So, with that said, I am not a weak hoe, okay? So technically, we won't go there. So I want to share with you a couple things that's happened. Now, Jenna probably knows this from the last time, basically. Adjusted, and I'm not talking about Chloe's medical records. I'm talking about my medical records. Now, basically, it basically states that I am, Vamo Trabajalar. Oh, okay. Oh, hi, Pablo. Michelle. So while we're all here for a few minutes, I got to take a bath and get ready to do some errands. Basically, it says for the last three times for psychological evaluations, and since Jenna's here, Jenna's going to basically be laughing. And I encourage Jenna, if Jenna sees, is watching or hearing this through her work, that, even though me and Tara J has some differences, I want to share something with you all. And Jenna, if you would like to relay it to Tara J, I think Tara J would get a laugh out of this. Now, for the last almost 16 months, Chloe's been trying to get involuntary committed. Involuntary, you know what that is, Jenna. Involuntary committed, IDA. Says here, for the last 3 nights here, the hospital was trying to involuntary treat me and send me out for a long-term commitment of 90 or 180 days in either eastern or western state for suicidal ideations and intoxications. Now, I would like to just say, right here, Police Department takes it up for Involuntary Treatment Act, IDA. Well, after a while, I basically told them I'm leaving. I wasn't detained, and the mental health profession, who was going to take like 12 hours to get to me, it says here, I walked out of the hospital in a gown and went home. Police were called and basically said, well, we'll either pick her up on her way back and basically cuff her and detain her, or we will let her go, get home and sleep. Well, I got home and slept. Woke up the next day, realizing, as I just did my podcast just a minute ago, that, like I said in my podcast, we all do stupid things. Like family, I know of several family members that pissed in the closet, completely drunk. When hubby was around, it was, the same kind of thing. He'd have to turn me a different direction and angle me here or there. The other thing in this report, being born both, they basically said I'm a genetically male wanting to be female, and even after surgery, I'm a genetic male wanting to be female. And so, it also basically talked about, the justification, in this report of drinking and what's caused it and everything else. So one of the things I'm saying here in my comments and my stuff is to let Chloe, mom, if she's watching this, that the one driving nuts at times is not me and it's not Chloe. It's Chloe's mom and, et cetera, et cetera. But I want to share this with you all for Jenna and the rest of you, and I know, Lexi and Gabby and Tara J will probably watch this because it's a short video. Like I said, I got to take a bath. But I want to make a statement to Jenna and the rest of you out there, okay? Basically, I was spewing in here about how, how I live with someone, who's made a lot of threats against POTUS and Vice POTUS and the main member of the House members and all this and GOP and everything. And then they basically think I need the involuntary treatment, me. Yet, in my record, it says Chloe's been trying to get involuntary treated for 16 months. Rita's been not trying, and she needs to have it after going 3 consecutive days to ask for help. 3 consecutive days. And then it says we know Rita's going to probably either be detained this time and put in the state hospital or etc. Now let me just break it down to all of you out here. And I want to share this with my home girl Jenna, my sisters Lexi and Tara J, their extended family, even though we don't see eye to eye. Gabby, Demon Fire, etc. Here's what I said in my podcast. 3 times in a row, I've been going up there for mental problems. Okay, they won't die. They won't justify Chloe, right? And they put in my record, Chloe's been trying for 16 months. Me, excess alcohol use. Yeah, okay, so she's been drinking half gallons of Malibu and I drink a Jim Beam, but right now I'm staying off the liquor. I want a clearer head. I mean, I need to think clearly, and being bipolar does not mix with alcohol either. So, well, let's just get down to this brass tacks for a second. I want to share a couple of things with all of you. 16 months. I even complained in my psychological reports, right? One report stated that I wanted basically to use the police to kick Chloe out. No, actually, I was suicidal and etc. because, I have all these responsibilities, as everyone knows, and it's bad. I mean, as I said in my podcast, if you look at the medical records from all Chloe's records, we're still missing 4. I think it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 record sets. And I got to print out a release so I can actually print it out and send it off to the homeless shelter. They have their own mental evaluation there. And then I got to make payments out to places. But anyways, when it comes to involuntary, right? And the mental health places already have put in Chloe's records everywhere that she is very, very mentally and physically abusive. And Chloe's very angry to the point, and I want to share this with you all, that she thinks it paints her like a monster on Social Security. So, and I know Tara J said anonymous reports. Well, let's just say, Tara J, if you're watching this, I think I'm staying neutral in all this, but I do want to say, just for shits and giggles here, because I am not a fucktard, and I think you know this. I'm very intelligent, except for a few things, but I respect you completely. I've never ever once basically not disrespected you, but I will tell Social Security Administration, because Chloe's not just got a administrative law judge hearing, sis, but you are going to laugh at this. She's got the hardest screw in all of Washington, basically. She's got the one that basically gets the file, looks it over, and basically dismisses the case before going to the courtroom. That is the dismissal part of 45%. Same guy has got a, what was it? Crap. Well, what's that word? Tara J, Gabby, Lexi, Jenna. There's the there's dismissed, and then the other one is not approved. Okay, let's just use not approved. Then he not approved. Then he denies. That's the word. Denies 45%. That's 90%. Same hard screw only approves 10%. Now let's just put it to this way, okay, with Chloe. Okay, we're not talking bad about Chloe here. I'm just gonna say it like it is. That 10%, Chloe's probably got less because of the hard screw. Now me, I don't care. I mean, I have to listen to the same thing every day. Am I going to get disability? Am I going to get my sex change? Am I going to get this? Well, yes, your surgery's covered. Everything's taken care of there. But we won't go into details. The other part, will she get it? Don't know. I mean, look, let me put it this way, okay? Now, Tara J probably has dual accessibility in her state of Kansas, Medicare and Medicaid, but I only have Medicare because I don't qualify for Medicaid in this state, okay? You bring in too much money, you don't get Medicaid. You only get Medicare. Now, Jenna probably knows this already, but let me put it this way. They want to involuntary me for 6 months, 3 to 6 months right now. I don't know what Tara J and Gabby think of this, but I think it's bullshit. All right. Putting it in this record, but they didn't detain me. In the record, it says they should have, when I left the hot building, they should have left the cuffs on me so I could have been there until. But I would have just walked off with the cuffs anyways, hurt myself getting down the hill, bled, and then still made it home and found my spare key set and just opened it up anyways or used a hacksaw. But you get the idea, okay? So they didn't even talk about anything in general. It was basically, Chloe tried for 16 months, can't do it. And then it says Rita's been basically talking about how Chloe's made threats to the government, all this, which we've noted many times over. But the one not here on trial is Chloe. It's Rita. Now, well, let's just say for brass tacks, for a short video here, because, I got to use the bathroom soon, and then I got to, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, we passed our inspection, barely, only because I busted my ass myself. I got 97% of this place clean. Chloe did 3. And the last night we were trying to clean like crazy. She fell asleep, and I woke up to her running out the door, getting ready to miss the food bank. Then they just gave us like 2 bags of apples, 2 bags of pears, 3 loaves of bread, and a whole chicken and some frozen sandwich meat. Which to me is not bad, but sandwich meat is frozen, and well, there was enough defrosted for Chloe to have a sandwich. So, on that thing, Chloe's like, now if Chloe's mom's watching this, I would just like to say for the freaking record, bitch, that for 16 months, they've been trying to Chloe's been trying to get involuntary, not voluntary, but involuntary. Now, involuntary basically turns around and basically rubber stamps you pretty much on Social Security. Now, everyone knows this for disability. Now, Chloe's probably looking at me for a second, but I am on video for all of you, so I'm not, and she's like half asleep. But I tried to explain to Chloe, even Chloe didn't want to hear it anyway. She's out of it, so let her sleep. Is apparently they basically, involuntary. Okay. Chloe even said, "Oh yes, we all agreed that was the best course of action." Then she went back to sleep. Really, you've been trying for 16 months and you can't get it? Damn drunk. Well, let's put it right here. Patient with the police department for involuntary treatment act due to alcohol intoxication and suicidal ideation. Patient needs to be involuntarily committed for 90 or 180. Then basically, decides after they take the handcuffs off, saying, "Oh, patient did this," and the nurse even said, nurse said the patient will walk out as soon as they sober up. Police didn't think it would happen. Involuntary, they'll get out here, they'll file the paperwork. This was almost 2 weeks ago. Takes 72 hours. Now, the courts out here, it's expensive. You got to go to the damn courthouse here in the county for it. Not the mental health people. They don't have a court. They just go in and it didn't happen. So, you make all these threats. She may, you're drunk. You get basically put in. Now, Tara J, Lexi, Gabby, and the rest are sitting there, like, that's bullshit. Well, I know Tara J is going to come up with some crafty remarks or something, but I look forward to it because I've never deleted any of Tara J's comments. I think Tara J is awesome. Now, Chloe, on the other hand, oh, you're working with Tara J. Well, whatever. So, all right. So here we go for the last part of the whole thing. Sorry. Medicaid, as you all know, has some problems. Now, Medicaid has a lot of problems. Now, when you sit there and say, "Oh, well, Medicaid's got this, Medicaid's got that," the problem with Medicaid is that, this is how it works. You involuntary treat me for 90 or 180. That takes all my Medicare days. I'm gone. Then I'm stuck with Medicaid the rest of my life. Once I get Medicaid, right, I'm stuck with Medicaid as well for the rest of my life. I can only use Part B for doctors, I believe. Part A is hospitals. Part A is gone. Hospitalization, gone. Tara J sitting there probably thinking, Rita's right. Now, let's just put it to you this way, okay? You drain all my days on Medicare, and I get stuck with Medicaid as a secondary, right? What happens, ladies and gentlemen, even Tara J probably knows this one, being disabled herself. They turn around and say, oh, you've been involuntarily committed, you've lost your weapons rights, your rights to vote. Oh, by the way, ma'am, you're stuck with Medicaid now, which means if you needed to be involuntarily committed, they turn around and say, sorry, we can't involuntary you, we can't voluntary you. What they're trying to do is strip you of your ability to be you know what I mean, be what's that word? Involuntary. So they turn around and they basically strip you of all your days from your hospitalization because they can through mental hospital. And then when they find out, oh, okay, then they find out, why are you here? I mean, look, if they were going to do it correctly, they would have basically did what they did, right? Right. So technically, with that said, you all make mistakes. I mean, look at what I said in my podcast. You turn around, right? You piss in the closet like a family member does. And because you're completely intoxicated, you don't know what you're doing. Now, when you're intoxicated, it's like they said in Shawshank, you can commit murder. You can do this. You can do that. Me, I basically told the nurse to back away. I'm leaving. The nurse let me, but they said my clothes are going to be kept because they were going to have me detained anyways. Chloe went up there and got my clothes. They said Chloe came back and got her clothes yet again. We tried to tell Chloe not to do it so she would just sit there. You know what? So I lose a pair of shoes. Big fucking deal. My coat was here. All this stuff was here. What was I going to lose? Just a camisole? Yeah. And a bra? I mean, who cares, right? In April and in May for Ida for my own self, and they said you don't qualify. Then you go and buy police, and they're like already ready to take you. Oh, twice. Oh, the police are ready to take you. That was the night they basically handcuffed me. Said I was on. So, well, I wasn't violent. That's what it said. Police handcuffed her for her safety. She's not violent. Chloe had to bring me. The thing is, the hospital said by law she has to have her dog. Police wasn't going to let the dog ride in the car. All in all, guess what happens? They wanted to involuntarily treat me because of it. Yet, I've talked to federal agents that say, oh, well, I don't know why they have an involuntary Chloe. They needed Chloe to be there. And Chloe's mom says, same thing on the phone a few times, an email, oh, my kitchen, Facebook message should be long-term there. Well, they don't want to do it. So I want to share with you all that there, as my sister Tara J would say on her podcast, these people are squirrely as more squirrely than nuts on nuts. And they are fucking nuts. And I can't remember how she put it, so I'm doing my own work because I respect Tara J. But Tara J is basically would say, I think, out of respect and love, I think she said, what a bunch of fucking bigots. What a bunch of fucking hypocrites. They turn around and they basically sit there and say, oh, Chloe's not a threat. Let's just go and involuntary treat act Rita, stripping everything of her. Chloe's been hospitalized 3 times in this state, 5 times in Arizona. Who's the one that's a fucking hypocrite? I'm not talking about Chloe being a hypocrite, no. Well, you guys can because I get belittled, attacked, treated like a child. But we're not talking about Chloe here. We're not talking about Chloe at all. We're talking about the mental health system. Now, let's get down to the last part of the mental health system for Chloe's mom and Chloe and some. Now, here's how it went, okay? This place here that does the Ida court, they want to involuntary treat me because they can't get to Chloe because Chloe's drinking. Chloe doesn't want to deal with these fuckers. Her last report said they're a bunch of pack of bastards, Twinkie-eating motherfuckers. The lady doesn't want to deal with her. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So Then, get this. Then, they tried contacting the social worker in this place, talking to the lady that I talked to recently about Chloe's supposed criminal charge. Now, if Chloe's mom's watching this, I got that removed. I fixed it. But my records are stating that, Chloe agreed to the involuntary. It says right there, Chloe recommends involuntary because of this. Well, look at Chloe. Chloe's drinking 4+ half gallons of Malibu rum a month. I even told the social worker. Social worker let the other lady know. My record, it says, for what we understand, Rita's basically, because I've messaged her many times trying to figure out that Chloe's off her meds and using alcohol as a thing. Oh, maybe they want to involuntary Chloe if they remove me. But my thing is, they have more authority to just go in and take Chloe by force. Me, they basically handcuffed me, send me up there saying, oh, you're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Then the lady turns around and tells me on the phone, I don't qualify for it, and tells me in person with 3 of them, you don't qualify. Yet, police want me to involuntary. And if I don't take that voluntary treatment of there, but it says right here in the next page, the MHP realizes that she's got Medicare and they can't help. The only course of action is involuntary. Yeah, Chloe's got Medicaid, but she says these freaking people on the hill are a bunch of pack of bastards, Twinkie-eating motherfuckers. They don't want to deal with it. Let's just go to the second one for a second, because in my podcast I talked about the 4 places. Second one. She goes to the second place up there. The second one says Chloe wants to be treated like princess. Chloe wants to treat Rita like a husband. Chloe's going to abuse Rita until Rita submits and becomes the man in the life. Chloe demands. Chloe thinks she's a woman. Chloe's just a screwed up little boy is what it says in her record. Yet, the lady basically puts in my record, which I've never seen her, that basically that I'm basically, that Chloe is can't be handled by anyone and needs a group home and this and that. Well, Chloe's medical records already says she needs a group home. The thing is I don't need a group home. And then, et cetera, et cetera. She threatens the lives of the people at the second mental clinic. Then when they threw her out, she was going to the emergency room all the time for help. They said, oh, you don't qualify for IDA, involuntary treatment. Come up here. Well, she basically said, fuck you every time. Finally went to the place in the 2 main places in Wenatchee was seen there. They found out about her records, and she changed to another provider there. Eventually, they stopped seeing her, and in her psych records there that we have, she smiles and she says, I abuse people. I love abusing people. I like belittling them. I like putting them into place. All of a sudden, let's go to the third place. Third place basically gets all the evidence from the first 2 places, puts it together, and says Chloe needs to go through the first place because she's too much to handle and yada, yada, yada. Well, she goes and bitches to them saying these are a bunch of pack of bastard Twinkie-eating motherfuckers and I'm not going through. Fuck it. I'll basically let Rita pay me $200 a month instead of getting the state money. Fine by me. Then this people here in the hill says, oh, it's wrong that Rita's got to pay her out of her own pocket for Chloe's spice. That's abuse there. But thing is, then you turn around, right? Here's the weird thing. Then you turn around, right? And then you turn around. And then she complains, goes to the Christian charities. Right? Last one. She goes in, gets an intake, gets it done, sees the therapist once. Therapist says, oh, you're not intersectional man. You're a confused man. So Chloe says, fuck you. Then eventually your meds run out and everything else. Chloe ends up after the next mental hospital. It's the second one. Basically ends up going to a mental hospital again. And Chloe tells me, hey, can you call this lady and tell her I'm in a mental hospital? Fine, whatever. Who cares? Or going to a mental hospital. Things happen between me and Chloe, as you all know. Then all this shit happens. Next thing you know, Chloe's in a mental hospital. They close her case. Chloe comes back. Chloe goes back to intake and says, yes, I've done these things. I've abused Rita, and all this is in her records, and smiling about it. Ladies in the intake. I'm there going, I don't see how it's abuse, on certain grounds, But the lady says, well, you get belittled? I said, yes, but that's just her disability. Do you get yelled at? I said, yes. Do you get put down? I said, yes. Everything the lady said, she says that's domestic abuse. Chloe's like, yes. And I'm going, no, that's her disabilities. And then the lady tells me, all right, at the intake, she's not going to get disability money. I said, oh, really? She's too disabled. Would you hire her? And she says, well, we have programs that can help with her. But since they tried to offer her help in Seattle and she didn't take it, she came back home, then yes, she's going to deny her services. So then a bunch of hypocrites. But you know what? Tara J might be right. As my neighbors all say, could be a show. Now, if you're watching this, Chloe's mom, I just want to tell you to go blow off because I'm almost done with the video and I got to take my toilet run. Now, for the final part, as you all know, if I got stripped of my Medicare and it was used up for involuntary, and I'd still have 20% of the bill, which could be $100,000 or more. Is it worth it? No. Bunch of hypocrites. They don't want to basically have the taxpayers pay for 6 months for Chloe, but they would really love just to strip me of my benefits just because of it. Oh, not to mention everyone, the final part of it. So she basically gets back in and she misses appointments and doesn't go back for that. They close her case again. Well, it's fine by her. She just wants her records anyways. She's going to use the autism spectrum disorder to get on disability. But her lawyer's like, well, we're doing everything. You need to have treatment. Her caseworker basically said it's not a good idea for me to pay, but at the same time, the judge is going to look at how she can't complete treatments, and the only way he's going to look the other way is if he knows that she's mentally severely ill, which, submitting all the evidence. But, it seems the mental place up here, the other 3 mental places, well, they all documented that Chloe basically has made all these threats, but the government doesn't care. She's too mentally ill. But since she's mentally ill, they're all packs of freaking bigots and hypocrites. Yeah, I'm going to use Tara J's word. Hypocrites and bigots by wanting to involuntarily treat me because I'm just trying to maintain a household. I got depression because of bipolar. She makes all these threats, as I'm going to say, to Tara J and the rest. And she's untouchable. The police told me the other day in the hospital, she's untouchable. You can't touch her. She's too disabled. With that said, everyone, you got it right there. That's the complete thingy. I might make another video later, but right now I got to take a dupe. So please add, subscribe, post, comments.